the Talking Leeds podcast with Arron Marshall and George Brooke.
Hello and welcome to the Talking Leeds podcast with myself, Arron Marshall, and Mr. George Brooke. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, George.
Good evening, Arron. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to anybody, depending on what time you're listening to this. Now, Arron, you have good news, don't you? You've been busy this week, obviously. Time on your hands, mate. But I'm okay, mate. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. It's a bit busy, but yes, it's been good, thank you. Busy,
now, we must say, Arron, before we get going, and anybody coming in, good evening to Jimbo. How are you, pal? It was your birthday yesterday, Arron. So many happy returns to you. Before we get going, did you have a nice day?
I had a lovely day, thank you. I've been sport rotten. I got the new Leeds away shirt, which I'm wearing for you tonight. And I had I highly recommend the Ivy Asia in Leeds. If anybody is from Leeds, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely spot on there. Willie Nonto's favourite restaurant, by the way, according to Ethan Ampadu. Didn't see him, sadly. But I'm not 40, Jimbo. Thank you very much. But yes, it's been lovely. Lovely. Thank you. What about yourself?
Good. No, I'm okay, Arron. Thank you. Just another day yesterday, another day today. Great to get some, Talking Leeds in as well. Just come off with my brother, of course, talking Brazil ball. Anybody wanting a bit of Brazilian football update, go check that out. It'll be on. It's on Spotify now. We're just uploading it onto YouTube, so it'll be ready for you to listen to and watch later on this evening, I would have said. Good evening to Pele. Pele says, were you 50, Arron? How old are you? But you don't need to answer that.
I'm 37 this time. I'm 37 now.
37?
37. That's how old I was.
Plus,
nearly 38.
I must admit, I thought you were slightly younger than that, but never mind.
Well, you do age, don't you, when you're a Leeds fan?
Yes, you certainly do. Yeah. But Jimbo says Yorkshire Day tomorrow as well. Will you be celebrating, Arron?
Yes, why not? I will have some fish and chips tomorrow and celebrate Yorkshire Day with a nice cup of Yorkshire Gold.
Yorkshire Gold. Sporting Leeds has made you look older, says Jimbo. No comment on that one from me. I said I could have worn my top. I've got the same top, Arron. I could have changed quickly and we could have been matching. As it is, we're not.
No. Okay, right. Kids aside, George, let's get straight into it. There's loads to discuss, isn't there, this week?
Yep.
Another week has gone by of pre-season for Leeds United. You thought we were going to sign Igor. He's not coming through the door. He's gone to Marseille. It was rubbish anyway. Never heard of him. Igor Pacchio is gone. And George, you brought this to me earlier. We've been linked with another one, haven't we? Who've been linked with this time?
Yes. So apologies if my stream is lagging. I hope everybody can hear me, but it's certainly lagging on my side. But anyway, yes, obviously Igor Pacchio, Arron, didn't come. He did go to Marseille. He preferred the French Riviera, didn't he?
He's still on the Leeds-Liverpool canal.
Yes, definitely as well. Beeston didn't seem to appeal to him, but it seemed like Leeds did all they could, Arron, to try and get this deal done. Even as far as going to new signing Lucas Perry, the big giant goalkeeper. He even was on the phone to Igor Pacchio for an hour on Saturday evening, trying to convince him to come, his fellow countryman, to come to Leeds, having just signed for Leeds himself in that day. spent another hour on the phone to his fellow countryman, his fellow Brazilian fella Igor Paixão, trying to convince him to come to Leeds. It didn't work. He preferred Roberto De Zerbi's pitch, obviously, and he's gone to Marseille, and we move on. We're linked with Bilal El Khanous this evening. Graham Smythe of the YEP, which is a reputable source nowadays, has said, Arron, that we are in for him. We're inquiring about him. He said a deal north of £25 million will see him line up in a Leeds United shirt next season. Let's see if we can do that. Very highly rated young player, only 21. I know, I don't know if you're winding me up or not, Arron, but every single time I put we're linked with him and into the LS11 group, you say, who? Oh, my Lord. It's Bilal El Khanous, mate. Have you not heard of him? Played for Leicester, didn't he, last season? Obviously relegated, African man. Born in Belgium to Moroccan parents, plays for Morocco in his international career. Phil McCracken, what a great name, has put Shibadong, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Of course, talking about boxing there.
I do know of him, George. I'm winding up here. 32 games for Leicester last season. 2 in the cup, 3 goals last season, 2 in the league, and 1 in the Carabao Cup. 3 assists as well. So I do know of him. I do like to wind you up now and then.
Of course you do. But,
I think for me, he's been there. Did he lighten the Premier League Cup last season, though? That's the question. That's the only thing that you're going to have. He got relegated with Leicester. Did he set the league alight? Leicester really didn't set the league alight last year, did they? If we're being honest, maybe it was the wrong team for him to be in last year. I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it, to kind of judge it on Leicester's season last year. But great signing. I don't think money will be an issue because they were clearly floating around with 30 million quid for the chicken man, the chicken back show. So yeah, why not?
Look, I mean, money isn't an issue for Leeds, is it, Aaron? They've got the money, they've got paid, as it were, with promotion. They're looking at in the likes of between 25 and 30 million for a marquee signing. For me, I don't think El Khanous would potentially be a marquee signing, as it were, but it would certainly be a really important signing for me. And
is it now? Remind me, George. You know clearly better than me. El Khanous, is he Moroccan?
Yeah, he's Moroccan.
Moroccan. Isn't it the African Nations Cup in January?
Yes, it is. Of course.
So this is. I know it affects you. You're losing a key player there potentially, aren't you? If he does come in for that.
Yeah,
I mean, you've just got to be prepared for that, haven't we?
Yeah, you have to be prepared. You have to probably double down and get a couple more in. I know they are looking at as many as 4 before the window closes. So we're gonna look at that. But obviously Sunderland buying up the bar. They're signing quite a lot of players. A lot of their lads are African that they've bought in, so they will be losing a few as well in January. So that's to bear in mind as well. So it's an important time, obviously, African Cup of Nations. He is Moroccan. He is a main player for them as well. So we're going to have to wait and see whether he does first to come in. Well, a lot of comments coming in as well. Welcome to everybody coming in. There are a few people joining me from my channel as well. So everybody coming from the Bearded Peacock as well. Thank you very much. As just Phil McCracken, and he's asked us, what should he have for his tea? What should he have for his tea, Arron?
I've no idea.
What should he have for his tea? What about a Kiev? Kiev or a calzone? A calzone Kiev, perhaps.
I have nachos. I'm having some nachos for my.
I mean, it's fair enough, and he's asking us lots of questions here. Best flavour of crisps, perhaps, and for apples or bananas. I don't know. Aaron, favourite pair of crisps.
Favourite crisps. How random that we're discussing this when it's a Leeds United podcast. Favourite crisps for me, I Worcester sauce.
Fair enough.
Worcestershire sauce.
Fair enough. Now, now, John Pepper also is joining from the Bearded Peacock. He says James Justin and El Canoes. Obviously, we're shopping in Leicester, aren't we, recently? And James Justin has also been linked. I don't know how legit these rumours are. Clive, good evening to Clive as well. He has said, are either of us at the Villarreal match on Saturday? Are you going, Arron, on the Saturday to Ellen Road?
No. Me and you, we might potentially do a watch along for that, George. Might we? We might do a live watch along potentially.
Yes, potentially. My computer has crashed.
Oh no, the technology these days. John, again, I'll jump into the comments, George. Come out and come back in. And I'll just have a look at what people are saying here from the comments.
I'll be back.
Excuse me. Richard says, I think we need to be stronger. Make us maximum offer, get the deals done, and move on. We're just becoming cannon fodder for other clubs, lads. Clive doesn't rate him either. Alcanos would be a great signing, says John. Yeah, I think it would be as well. I think it'd be a good signing. Let's get it over the line, get it done. Michael, good evening to you. Says, given Leicester City's financial state, Elkanos would be an easier player to potentially get and even offer player exchange and Pat Cash as they were linked with Greenwood and previously Melia. Yeah, I think Greenwood would be good there. I think he'd do a good shift for them. I think he's been moved on, doesn't he? But yeah, we can see that. I'm just pleased to have to be 18 to watch the show. That's right, Jim. You don't have to do that. Fancy dress watch long, Pelly? No, I don't think so. Not from here. That'd be a bit boring if we did that. What else have we got here? Here he is. He's back. Good evening again, George. Apologies for the technical hitches.
Yes, can you hear me, Arron?
Yeah, you're good.
Good man. Yeah, it crashed again. I don't know why it happens sometimes. But yes, I'm here back with you. And what are we discussing? Lots of comments coming in about El Canuse.
Yeah, we just want to say, George, with this one, let's just get these deals done because obviously the season's fast approaching, isn't it, for Leeds? You know, we've got a lot. You know, we don't have time. I read in the press earlier, Everton are kicking off. David Moyes is kicking off that. Everton are running out of time to sign players. Leeds have obviously signed players, but there's key positions. There's obviously that winger, that number 10 role, and the striker still to come in. Like the same with Muniz from Fulham. He's been linked with Newcastle now, hasn't he? To go up there. I've read online. It's just what we need to see now. We need to see these deals done. We missed out on the chicken man. Let's get these deals done. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely, Aaron. And they're still trying to do them. John said he likes the Leeds project as a free agent, but I like the Leeds project, John, as well. It doesn't mean I'm going to sign for him. You know what I mean? For me, that's a nothing kind of story, personally. Yeah, I as well. I agree, Aaron. I think we do need to act quickly now. There's about a month left of the window. I mean, David Moyes don't know what he's talking about, really. Everybody gets the same amount of time to sign these players.
Yeah, but what he's getting at the board, isn't he, is Moyes. He's saying, look, you need to start spending the money here. They've obviously pumped a lot of money into the new stadium. They need to get deals done. They are a relegation rival for us this year, Everton, and they're not making any decent quality signings. Leeds have, but I just want to see now Leeds get the players in, get the job done, especially the striker. Yeah. If you could, to an extent, winger-wise, other than Solomon is still out there. We don't know if he's going to come back. For me, if you look at the wingers that we've got, you could probably make do with that until January. I know that's obviously going to put Jack Harrison into the fold. But you could potentially hold out till January maybe for that. The key priority positions now for me are number 10 and the striker. Let's get those two in before.
Yeah,
It's not going to happen before Villarreal, but it needs to happen before the AC Milan game in Dublin.
It does, definitely before the Milan game for sure. I think we do need a striker in before the season starts. I think we do need all of. I think, to be fair, I think we need the majority of our starting 11 done, strongest team done by the Everton game on the 18th of August, really. And I think now we've got the defence kind of sorted with Perry signing on Saturday as well. That was a really good signing. But we've got to now look at towards the top end of the pitch and start to get those attacking players in. Obviously, Pak Shah was disappointing. We have also been linked with the lad from Roma, the Ukrainian striker, Dibrovak. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's been linked as well. So El Kanousse as a left winger, number 10, and then you've got your striker there, potentially him or somebody else. But another after Bakwa as well from Strasbourg, aren't they? As well as a potential forward player as well. So there's a few irons in the fire as you like, but. I agree, Aaron. We do need to start getting it done. And, Clive says, what about Dejan Maida and Ricardo Orsolini? Again, who knows who Leeds are really looking at. They'll have looked at loads of players and, we don't really know. We're kept in the dark about it a lot of the time. We know the 49ers do like to do the business fairly quietly. So it's just a case of wait and see, really, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Put here as well, it's shot that we haven't sold anybody yet. Movements out, we know about Bamford, he's going to go eventually. We think Joseph is still rumbling on. In terms of outgoings, George, we don't really know of anybody else who's confirmed. Obviously, you've got Greenwood potentially to go out, Gelhardt. There's a whole bunch of players which need sorting out, really, as well, don't they? Because the EFL kicks off this weekend in League 1 and League 2.
It does,
so, we've got to get these players for them to get new clubs, etc. It needs to get going.
That's a championship as well. Starts this weekend.
Championship's next weekend. It's League 1, League 2.
Next weekend, right? I see.
Yeah, championship's next weekend.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Right. Well, yeah, they do. They need to start getting them out and shipped out for like Greenwood, Gelhardt. Their days at Leeds are numbers. Are numbered. Darko JB as well. Probably his days are numbered as well. So you've got to get these lads.
If you look at Jarby last season, he was already out on loan ready at Plymouth. He'd had a pre-season with his belt down there for Wayne Rooney's side, didn't he?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say, you've got to get these. You've got to get them. You've got to get them going. You've got to get them out.
You do. No, you do. I agree. As much for the boys as well as the club themselves. I think they do, because who knows what they're doing. I mean, likes of Greenwood, Gelhardt, Darko JB. I don't think they were in Germany with the team, were they recently? And they're not obviously going to be involved on Saturday with the Villarreal game. So what are they doing? Are they training by themselves? Are they training with the under-21s? What are they doing? Get them out, get them some first team minutes. They'll all probably go to the championship in some guys, won't they? So, Greenwood is probably the best of the lot, isn't he, there? Whether he goes to a championship side, who knows? But yeah, need to get these guys out. For me, I don't really count them as Leeds United players, I must admit, because they're not going to be involved. It doesn't really matter to me where they go. They are playing for the under-21s, are they, Jimbo? Right. I see. And Bamford scored for the under-21s today. Fair enough. Did Johnny Howson play? Is Johnny played again?
He has played. I think he played against. Where was it now? He played up at Hartlepool.
Hartlepool, that's it, Aaron. Yeah, Simon Grayson managed both teams, so I don't know how he did that, but he did do it somehow. Probably, I thought last news I heard he was going back to India to manage. But obviously not now. I think he is actually manager of Hartlepool, isn't he?
Now? Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So, evening to Kevin. Thank you for joining us, mate, from my channel there. Very welcome, bud. And Michael says, Perot has looked really good in pre-season. He has obviously lost weight and looked toned and has been scoring in pre-season as well, looking sharp and quicker. Nemecha as a backup looks a beast as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what are your thoughts on Nemecha, Arron?
Me, I want to see what happens with him on the pitch. George, just turn your volume down a bit because I can hear it back in my ears.
Okie dokie, Arron.
Just turn it down a touch. You can top guy says Dale. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really too convinced. I need to see him in the Premier League, George. I need to see him. I need to see him having a run around. If I'm being honest, I can't look at clips online. I need to see him in the shirt, in the flesh, and then I'll make a decision on him.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a good barometer, isn't it? And good evening to Dale. Again, joining from the Bed of Peacock. So thank you, mate.
He's getting his plugs in. He's getting his plugs in.
Of course, you've got to, haven't you? Remember to subscribe to the channel. Anybody who hasn't already, subscribe to Talking Leeds as well, if you haven't already. And
there you go. You can see the little thing at the bottom. You can see
exactly.
it there.
You've got it all going now, and like you said, you can tell you've had a bit of time off work, mate. But it's all worth it, isn't it?
It is. It's all good fun. But yeah, let's see. I think going back to what you said, we'll have to wait and see what happens with him. I need to see him in the flesh before I can make a decision on him. It's a very good new signing.
Yeah,
can they adapt quickly to the Premier League?
Can he? Exactly. A lot of people have said, that they've been impressed with him. But like you said, can he adapt himself to the Premier League? Looks like a decent option so far, but the Premier League is the barometer, and let's see if he can cut it. Carlos said, would you start Darlow? Would you start Darlow, Arron?
No.
Not even a question. I think you're bringing a goalkeeper on Saturday, and you don't start Darlow, do you? No.
It's got to be fair. It's got to be fair.
And good evening to Alfie, a new onlooker, are you, Alfie? Welcome to the channel.
Right, let's get straight into it, George. I'll tell you what, because we're going to play this. So let's get a feature on. Let's have a go at this. Right, George, I've got 5 questions for you based on Leeds United and pre-season at Ellen Road this week. So cover your comments up, and we've got some sound effects. So let's see if the buzzer is working. So if you get a correct answer, you'll hear this. And if you get something wrong, you'll hear this. There you go. You can tell I've had a lot of time on the end. So have you covered up your comments?
Yes.
Okay, play along in the comment section, please, both of everybody. So, George, question number 1 is this. In July 2023, Leeds played against which League side?
When was it, Aaron? July 2020?
July 23.
Oh, Monaco.
Correct. Well done. 1 out of 5 so far. Question 2. Which Spanish giants visited Ellen Road in August 2001?
Don't know. Barcelona.
No, it was not, George. It was Real Madrid.
One of the two.
Fixtures. Yeah. Okay. Question 3. In the summer of 2018, Leeds played which La Liga team? Then La Liga team, I need to say.
Summer 23.
Summer 2018.
Oh, 2018. I'm not sure. Was it Levante?
No, it was La Palmas, George. The Canary Island Giants.
Of course.
Right, I had to get this one in there. Question 4. In Bielsa's first pre-season, he sent a team against which English Football League team, and we resulted in a 1-0 win?
Was it York?
No, Josh, you're doing dreadful. It was Oxford United.
Oxford, okay.
Can you remember that everybody went wild after watching it? Like saying this is the best thing they've ever seen. Can you remember?
Yeah, I mean, people were just, getting overexcited, weren't they, Aaron, to be fair? I think it was because of Bielsa, wasn't it? Bielsa factor. Everybody, first game of even if it was a pre-season friendly, everybody was just itching to see what he could do. And obviously his team didn't fail to disappoint when the season got going. I mean, watching that game at Stoke, it just goes down in history, doesn't it? That game at Ellen Road against Stoke City.
Let's go for your final question then for this week. In July 22, Leeds played against which Italian club, which resulted in a 6-2 win?
Oh, was it Cagliari?
It was. Well done. 2 out of 5 this week, George.
No, that's not the best.
Some tricky questions in there. And all of those games, Leeds have played at Ellen Road for those. And I'm hoping that they'll be wearing this on Saturday, the new kit.
I'm pretty sure they will. Obviously, Villarreal will no doubt probably be wearing yellow. So it should be a colourful affair, if anything.
Colourful affair. And that's your trivia challenge. There you go. Let us know how you got on in the comments on this week's quiz. So, George, we have got a little bit of football to look forward to this weekend. Villarreal are in town against Leeds at Ellen Road. Where did Villarreal finish last season in the Liga? I should have really done my research on this.
I will just have a look, Aaron, and I will let you know.
Go on, then. I can't remember. Were they any good? They're normally pretty good, aren't they? They're a pretty good.
They're a decent side, aren't they? They finished in 5th, so they did pretty well.
So did they get Champions League then? Or was it Europa League for those?
I think it was Europa League. League, mate.
Okay. That's not bad. Some decent opposition then coming up at 11.
It was Champions League, sorry.
Alfie says it's Champions League. There he is. It's a Champions League.
Yeah. Alfie. Yeah, it was
tough opposition.
Tough opposition. This one, it'll be a real test. I mean, was it last season or this season? Was it last season we beat Valencia, wasn't it, in a pre-season game at Ellen Road? I think Georgie scored, didn't he? And Matteo Joseph. I think we won 2-1. 1-2-1 that day at Ellen Road. I don't know if you went to that one, Aaron.
No.
Really
any players that we need to be looking out for, George, with Valencia?
Villarreal. Nicolas Pepe plays for them. Jose Perez, who used to play for Newcastle and Leicester. There's Arnold Danjuma as well, who was on loan at Girona last season. Didn't really do much. So there's a couple of, Juan Foyth, if anybody remembers him playing for Tottenham. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not going very well. Now you've disappeared. Let's just jump into the comments. It says,
can you hear me, Aaron?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I went to the office. It's absolutely FUCK'd.
It's fine. I can. It's fine. Anyway, listen. Let's get on to it. So, Clive says I went to the Valencia game and I'm going to the Villarreal game this time. Good. Enjoy, Clive. Enjoy it. Michael says Leeds should not be doing deals with Real Betis over Joseph. Leeds are at 13 million. Betis only want to pay 8. I'll do a season-long one. So Leeds are relegated to get him cheaper. I completely agree, Michael. We need to get that done. Lads, what do you have of the Pussy Boy links from Seville? Who the hell's Pussy Boy links? I've no idea, Phil McCracken. I love your name, but I don't know who it is. It's 7.2 million. It's a bargain. But do you know what? Send it to Adam Underwood. I'm sure he'll give it a go. He says he'll give us a proper match report after if you like. Yeah, feel free to send it in. I will look forward to reading that. Post office Wi-Fi, George, or the new government online app.
Exactly, mate. You know it. Yeah. Damn post office Wi-Fi.
There you go.
There again. It might as well be. I don't know what's happened to my to my
It doesn't matter.
connection.
We can hear you loud and clear. That's the main.
As long as you can hear me. I don't know. The video's just knocked off. But incidentally, the stream seems to have caught up with itself, and you're moving in real time, Arron, whereas before you were slightly, and I was also like in motion, like in frames, and it was a little bit distracting, to be fair. But there you go. It's all well, and all well at the moment.
Oh, well, that's good. Okay, right then, George. Let's get... It's weird, this. Let's get a score prediction then in for this one at the weekend. It's pre-season. It's the only pre-season game at Ellen Road. Give us a score prediction for this one.
Does anybody really care of the result?
Well, Clive does. He's going. He wants to see.
Well, obviously, Clive wants to see us win. No. We are so yeah. Maybe we win 10-0.
Alfie got in there before you with the 10-0. George Zat passed. Has finally caught up with it. Has been censored. Yes.
Yes, that is what I look like, Jimbo, isn't it?
Yeah.
You sound like you have a man of experience with that.
Jimbo says 3-3. Let's have a look. Like a win, says Clive. Weens breed a winning mentality. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Clive. They do. It'd be great to see them get the win on that. He says 2-1. Dale says, come back, George, we miss you. But George, realistically, still going to go 10-0, and you think Leeds are going to win 10-0 at the weekend against?
Obviously not, Aaron. I think it'll be. I don't know. It's hard to say. Obviously, Villarreal obviously did very well last season, Champions League. They'll be wanting to put a marker down. Maybe I don't know when they start their season. They start on the 15th as well. So they start the same weekend as we do. They've got a home game against Real Oviedo on the Friday the 15th to kick off their season. So they've still got a couple of weeks to go as well. They'll be wanting to put down a mark. They also have Arsenal in a friendly game at the Emirates on the Wednesday this coming Wednesday, the 6th. So they're obviously in England for a little bit as well. They're playing. Then they've got a game as well against Villa back in Spain on the 10th. So a triple header of English Premier League sides for Villarreal to go into their La Liga season. They'll be wanting to start it off with a win. It'll be a really tough game. I think we'll lose the game. I'm going to go with 3-1.
You think we'll lose?
Yeah.
Okay. Richard says we'll win 3-1. I don't know. We let's not be negative, George. I'm normally the negative one, and let's go with the positive here. A draw, I think, would be a good result. As long as we don't lose. So
I mean, I'll have a bit of what Phil's having here because he's he's if Villarreal and Real Madrid merge, you're right, Phil. What is it? Villarreal Madrid. And he says his dad supports Aston Villarreal. So, will be a good side, Phil? I don't know.
I think Phil's having a nice time. I don't know. It's just gone really wrong, hasn't it? Listen, it's all good fun. Enjoy yourself, Phil. I can't kick you out because you're a guest, otherwise I'd ban you for 5 minutes, but I can't. George, who else have we been linked with in transfer wisely? Because you're the man with the many sources. Who else have we been linked with?
Yes, I mean, we have been linked with a man actually that we were linked with 5 years ago, actually.
Ryan Kent?
No, luckily it's not him. Thank goodness he is not anywhere near any links. It is a man from the Portuguese league, a man from Benfica, Florentino Luiz, who is a midfielder. I don't know how legit these rumours are, but Florentino Luiz, 25-year-old. We were linked with him, like I said, when we first come into the Premier League 5 years ago. He was 20, then he's 25 now, over 100 appearances for Benfica. he has also played on loan with Getafe in Spain and Monaco in France. So he's got some good experience, Aaron. He's one that I've seen a link with. Like I said as well, the lad from Roma, the striker, the Ukrainian fella, 11 goals last season in the Italian Serie A. We also have had one or two links with him over the last few days. But Florentino Luis, yeah, good player. I know we're stacked in the centre mid department, but I do think he is more of a quality, more quality than we've got already. So, Jimbo says Rodrigo de Paul, he's gone to Miami, hasn't he, mate? He's going to join his pal Messi and be his bodyguard again. So there you go.
There you go. That's your guy with the sauces there, Mr. George.
Yeah, so there's one or two. There's not many, Aaron, to be fair. I think there's been a little bit of a lull from the Igor Pakshaw sort of disappointment, and I think there's been a few days where I've seen one or two reports saying that.
Do you think then, George, that they've put all their eggs in this basket because they wanted to get that deal done?
I think they put a lot of, yeah.
Like Parade was in conversation with him, wasn't it? There was lots of trying to sell this project to him.
Yeah,
and it didn't materialise. And it clearly, from reading online, you can read all the respected journalists and things like that. It went down to the wire, and it was 50-50 really, wasn't it, to get that one done? But do you think Leeds are licking their wounds a little bit here, George? Because they clearly tried to get this done, failed, and are now just reevaluating new targets.
I think so, Aaron. Yeah, we won't see. I think we all want to go straight in and get signings. But they obviously clearly did put a lot of eggs in the sort of Pakshaw basket because they're bringing out the big guns. Parag Marath speaking to him, obviously Fark, and then to get a new signing, the lad who just literally signed. And that's like the last throw of the dice. I don't know if he knew him at all. He might have known him. He might have played in the youth with him potentially. I'm not sure, but they'd obviously wanted a lot of. They put it all into him, and it didn't materialise. So they're going to have to recoup and go again. And I think also from what I was reading today, Aaron, like Harrison and Ramazani, Nonso and James, the people at the head of the club were sort of making the decisions who were saying sort of like, I'm not sure actually that we can get anybody better than that. So for me, I reckon that we're going to get somebody in who's like El Canous, who can play on the wing and at a 10, who fits, like I said earlier to you guys, killing two birds with one stone. It feels to me a bit like that because they're kind of running down a little bit now. They are sort of running out. They're saying they're not going to jump in and be like, swayed in.
Yeah, it's just an interesting one. Alfie's made a great point there. He says we're being a lot more cautious this summer, which is good to see. Pakshaw deal is dead. Reassess properly and move on. Goodness would be ideal. What about this one? Because we haven't really seen any links with this one. Thanks, Alfie, for that. Carl says Hamer is still available for a reasonable price. Can we get him if we can cover a few positions and an upgrade on Harrison and Aronson in either position? What do you think to that one then, Josh? Because we haven't been linked with him yet. He's the new Ryan Kent / Rodrigo de Paul, who've been linked with what seems to be for the last 18 months, hasn't it?
I think it's a non-link, really. They're not bothered for him. They don't want him, and I don't think...
But they wanted him last year, if you remember.
They wanted him last year.
They wanted him in January.
But they don't want him anymore, and I don't know where he's going to go. He might even just stay at Sheffield and play in the Championship again. I don't know, but I don't think Leeds don't want him, mate. They don't want him, and that's fair enough. Look, we're looking at higher quality players. To be fair, El Canous, he is better than what we've got. Clive, he definitely is. Jason says I nearly got Pakshaw on the back of Leeds shirt, but that would have been a bit too Igor. Yeah, it would have been Igor of you, Jason, of course. Definitely would have been, but why not? I have seen a few people with it on the back before he signed. Obviously didn't sign, but you can get anything on the back, Anything on the back, can't you?
You can do what you want. Jimbo says, going slightly off Leeds topic here, Sheffield Wednesday Morecambe players are all leaving. We could get a few of them on a free. Barry Bannon, apparently, I don't know if you've heard this, George, but I was reading on Twitter. A Football League club player is unable to start the season because of a hair transplant which went wrong. I hope to God it's Barry Bannon, because it would be very, very funny.
Yeah, Barry Bannon, I mean, who knows where he'll go? He's
Barry Bannon, he just needs to cut. I'm going bald, and I know when the time will come, because my turkey job of a hair transplant is well and truly gone. But I hope it's him. I really do.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's holding on to 5 hairs, and he just refused. He refused to get rid of them. And I hope to God he's been to Turkey, got himself a turkey job, and failed.
He is balding. He definitely is balding. So who knows? But who knows where the heck he'll end up? I mean, he's definitely going to be not. He's gone from Wednesday, hasn't he now? So he's linked to another Championship team in League 1 too. Yeah. So it's probably still can play at the Championship, can't he? I'll just point you up to thank you, James, up in the comments there. It's not my brother James. Welcome along to you. We've just done Brazil ball, haven't we? So. And James writes, for rousing the cop, any Liverpool fans find themselves some reason in here, go and check him out on Rousing the Cop. Some really good articles right in there. But yeah, thanks for joining us, James.
There you go. You get lots of shout outs. We haven't done this yet, George. Let's do this. Tanaka Time, what's caught your eye this week, George?
So I'm going to go with birthdays. The sort of topic of birthdays. Arron, it was your birthday yesterday. It's mine coming in a couple of weeks, as well as James's, of course. And I want to know is what was the best piece of Leeds United memorabilia that you received on your birthday, if you can remember. Obviously, you got the top this time for your birthday. Can you remember anything else? Or have you gone to a Leeds game on your birthday? I know it's probably a little bit difficult for you, Arron, with it being in July, but or have you received a Leeds United tickets as a birthday gift and then gone to a game? Can you remember?
Do you know what? I think I did go to one when I was young. I think I did have a friendly on my birthday. I can remember going to that. This is years ago, but it's probably just shirts, George. If I'm being honest, you don't really get things, tickets and things. I've had a season ticket for years. Yeah, I don't know really. It's a tough one. It's probably just shirts in the answer to your question. It's probably the best memorabilia you get. I wouldn't say that I've got a signed photo of Bielsa or whatever. I'd just say shirts.
Yes, well, fair enough. I mean, there's some comments coming in. Obviously,
what about
you? You're probably right. It's probably similar, mate. It's shirts, really.
It's just an easy thing to buy, isn't it?
Well, it is.
My missus just said, "What do you want?" I'll just get the Leeds shirt.
It's an easy one. It's they are getting more expensive, aren't they nowadays? But I suppose it is an easy one. And my birthday obviously falls when the season does. Sometimes I remember. I never never went to the game, but I remember the latest one that I can remember is on my birthday. We got smashed on the opening day by Man United. That one when we did end up just surviving relegation, but that we got thumped 5-1, and I was sitting by myself watching that, thinking, "Oh my Lord, this season is not going to be a good one." And I suppose it wasn't. But Clive says his birthday was 18th of July. Did you have a good one, Clive? Yes, up on my wall, mate. Up on my wall. Yeah,
he's still throwing darts at it, Jimbo. He's still throwing darts at Tyler Roberts. Where is Tyler Roberts? Where is he these days?
He was on loan. He was on loan at Northampton actually last season, mate.
Yes, you know all about
that. from Birmingham, so I think he's back at Birmingham.
Is he?
Yeah. At the moment, but I don't think he played much actually last season in League One.
No,
but he's not. I don't know. He might have moved on actually by now. Is he still at Birmingham Alpha? I think he is. I don't
Well,
think
they're one of the favourites for League One. Sorry, for the Championship. This
I mean, he won't play for Birmingham, will he? I think they're signing up.
He could score the winning goal to get them promoted.
Nah, they don't want him. That's why they sent him out on loan. They don't need him. And to think, Arron, that he was playing in the same side as Rafa at one stage, wasn't he? Which is the mind boggles, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
He had a good one, steady enough. Last year was a big one. So you were 41.
Oh, Samuel, happy birthday to you then. Shall I take my Tanaka Time, George? It has to be the Lionesses. They brought it home. Huge congratulations to those. They did a fantastic job. They won on penalties and they brought home the European Championship, George. Did you watch the women's final on Sunday?
No, I didn't actually, Arron. I actually didn't watch a kick of that. Actually, I didn't watch any of it. But that doesn't mean to say that I didn't, congratulate the team, and I wasn't happy that they won. I just didn't see any of it.
Fair enough. So huge congratulations to them. They did well. They did the job. That's the main thing. They did the job. So that's your Tanaka Time for this week. There you go, George. Tanaka Time done for this week. Don't forget, if you want to get involved, send us in your Tanaka Times in the comments. What's caught your eye this week, and we'll read them out. Or if you want to send us an email, you can to talkingnowufc@gmail.com. If you want to email us in, we'll give it a shout out and we'll read it out. Why not? New feature. George, okay then. So go on in. Let's just summarise pre-season so far for Leeds, George. It's really hard to get excited about friendlies and things like that, but rate it out of 10 so far.
I mean, obviously no fans were allowed in Germany. I think we won both games, didn't we? Obviously, Fark played Paderborn, the last one, against his son on Saturday.
I'm going to say
his son played, yeah. Engels, is it, I think.
Engels, is that his name?
Yeah, I got a bit confused because he's not called Fark, is he? I don't know. I'm not sure where he plays, actually, but Paderborn are in Bundesliga 2, obviously the second division, second tier of German football. But they're, Leeds are back in the UK now. They're back in Leeds. Obviously, they're playing Saturday against Villarreal. Will be a really, really good test for them. And so will Milan in Dublin, a week on Saturday as well to finish pre-season. Hopefully, like you said, by then we will have one or two new faces in to get excited about. Because I don't know about you, Arron, but obviously you get a little bit more excited about the attacking players, don't you? The strikers, number 10s, wingers, because they're naturally the ones that are going to score you goals at the end of the top end of the pitch. So hopefully we'll see some of them before at least Dublin and AC Milan. But out of 10, obviously we beat. Who did we beat? We played Man United and drew with Man United. That's the only really sort of one that you might call a proper friendly, isn't it? And I don't know. Are you talking signings as well on top of that?
Yeah, just a rating out of 10. Just give it a number. So far.
7, I'd say. We need
7 out of 10.
We need obviously the minded players we need in and fast, really, I would say. Need to move on from targets you've spent 2-3 weeks trying to get and go down your list and see who's next available. Obviously, El Canous, if we can get him, that would be a good start.
Does that bump it up to an 8 or 7.5?
Yeah. I want to see a proper, as we all do, I want to see a proper striker come in, a proper number 9 where you can really get excited and be like, wow. I remember when we signed Perot, obviously we were in the Championship, and you were like, all right, it's not like, wow, look at him we've signed. It was like, that is a really solid, really intelligent signing. And obviously, he did what he needed to do. He got his goals, and we went up eventually. So that we need one of them. Like, wow, this is not like, oh my lord, look at this big name that signed for Leeds. We need this who we know looks like he can score goals and has scored goals at other levels at top levels. And I love me Brazilian football, Aaron, and there's obviously a few knocking about in Brazil that you might want to have a look at. I know James said up there before, like Ben Doak, who was on loan at Middlesbrough last season. I saw when the only game I got to last season was against Borough at Ellen Road, and he was definitely the best player for them on the pitch. He's in a sort of a winger, I think, isn't he? I think he's still at Liverpool, isn't he? But the Caio Jorge at Cruzeiro in Brazil is banging him in. He's only 23. He's absolutely banging them in. I think he's got 13 goals in 16 games so far this season. And he would be definitely a pick for me. Pedro as well. I like Pedro at Flamengo. We have been linked in the past with Pedro. He's a Brazilian international as well. So, there's more Brazilian. I know we looked at a few Brazilians. It looks like Muniz is off the table as well at the moment. Like you said, Newcastle look as though they're going to maybe hijack that. And there's another, I think it was Inter Milan or something like that. I think we're interested in as well. So that blows us out the water with that one really as well.
Just want to touch on a couple of comments which are coming in. Do keep them coming in because we do read them all. Alfie says he uses, this is facts, uses his mother's name rather than facts, so it can be judged on merit, not his name. Didn't realise Fark was ever that good.
I see. Right. Thank you for that. You
should have got him. Anyway, let's have a look. Cooper. I want to mention this, George. Liam Cooper has left Sofia.
Oh, is he leaving? Is he retiring, Clive? What's he doing?
No. I can tell you this one because I know this because I'm reading about it. He's had his contract cancelled.
Why?
Because it was shame. No, real shame for him. Clearly a big payout.
Why has he had it cancelled? Because he was rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish, is it, George? I think he'd do. He could do a job. Not at Leeds anymore. Unfortunately, he's past that. I could see him back in England doing a little stint in the Championship or League One. That's where I can see him going. League One, Liam, I think is probably the next time. Or that's the next move for him.
Yeah, well, maybe he could rock up at, I don't know, Bradford or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad shout for them.
That's League One or Huddersfield even, what I mean?
They could do a job there, but I don't know. Or the MLS, I could see him going over there.
No, the fact that he's got the contract cancelled, Aaron, says to me he didn't.
But it's not, but it's two ways, George. It could have been the player wanting to cancel it as well and move back.
I imagine it probably is.
I'm not saying that, it's the best place to be, Sofia, in the world. Who knows?
Well, this is what I read into it, Aaron. He probably wanted his contract cancelled because he didn't enjoy living in Bulgaria, probably.
Yeah, exactly. But Clive says he'd love Coops to be a player coach. Would love Coops to be a player coach at Halifax, but he won't drop down to the National League. No, I think he could still.
He could still play Championship, couldn't he? If you're being honest, I think he probably could.
He could do a stint there
for a little bit.
3 or 4 years, and he could probably do that in the National League. Who knows? Big up to Liam Cooper. Hope he gets somewhere sorted for next season because I think he's still got a lot to give.
I hope. I hope he does, Aaron. I hope he does.
Do you know what? I think maybe Hull for Cooper. I don't know, Clive. I think you look at some of the teams in the Championship, and I know we're not in it, and we really shouldn't be discussing it, but Sheffield Wednesday, absolutely appalling. Hull are in real trouble as well at the moment financially. Sheffield Wednesday have gone absolutely bonkers. They're not even paying for overnight accommodation for their players before they kick off next week. It's a real shit show for Sheffield Wednesday. Yes, you're right, Michael. Howson has returned home to Leeds to join the coaching setup, and he can also play registered. I don't think he's in the fantasy team, but he can play if he wishes.
No, he's in the under-21s team, isn't he? So he's like a player coach of the under-21s side by the sound of it. He won't go anywhere near obviously the first team, which is a little bit of a shame, really, because but you never know. he might end up becoming a part of the coaching staff on the first team. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It could be once you've called for Fark's head, George. Johnny Howson will be ripping it up in the National League Cup and then in the Football League Trophy. We could be in the semi-finals, and you could be calling Johnny Howson to be the next Leeds United manager.
It's probably not out the realms of possibility, to be fair.
And you'll think because he's doing it in the National League Trophy, whatever it's called, the Johnston's Paint, whatever it's called these days, you could be turning up and saying, give him a shot.
Well, look at Keith Andrew, you know what I mean? He's got next to no experience as a manager.
Well, I am very, very intrigued, and I know we've slated Keith Andrews already before on this show. I think it's just even funnier that even more Brentford players want to leave.
Yeah,
it's just
of course
wanting to leave. No idea why. Keith Andrews is a fantastic manager. He should be the next Republic of Ireland manager and everything else. Where he should be running for the Real Madrid next year. But Keith Andrews, what a joke that is. I just can't wait to see how that unfolds.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I hope so. They're in trouble. And I tell you what, there's a whole bunch of teams. Wolves, I think, are in trouble this season. I think Everton are in trouble. I think Sunderland are going to have a bit of a stab at this. I think Burnley will struggle. I think Sunderland could compete. But I think it's quite wide open. I think if you compare it to this time last year in the Premier League, everybody wrote off immediately Leicester, Southampton and Ipswich. They just didn't have a leg to stand on. And I just hope it just opens up a little bit. Because we are in this relegation fight, aren't we, George? We're not going to be competing for top 8, top 10 or whatever. It's going to be 17th and above for Leeds this season. And can't wait, George. It's coming back, isn't it? I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, it's nearly here, Aaron. 18th. What is it? 2 weeks on Monday, isn't it? We kick off against Everton under the lights on a Monday night, which will be great. Ellen Road will be bouncing for that game. And hopefully, like we said, we've got 2 or 3 new additions, exciting additions, players that can get the fans really excited about how the team is going to perform. And hopefully we can, start with a bounce and get at least a point. Look, any point.
A point at home against Everton? Are you mad?
No, I said at least a point.
Oh, at least.
So we've got to go for 3 at home against a team like Everton. Really, it's quite a kind opening game, really, a home match against a team that we could see as competition, really, potentially if we're hoping to stay in the league, really. Although I do think Everton will be lower mid-table at least, really. I don't think they'll be that close to us.
Yeah, Clive says he thinks we can get 10 wins and 10 draws this season. And Mark says 4 points in the first 3. That would be good. I'd actually happily take that, George, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if you look at the first 3 is what Everton, Arsenal and Newcastle. I mean, that's quite ambitious, really, Mark, but that would definitely be...
One thing that I can tell you, Colin, is if let's not be calling for Fark's head, but I'm sure this man who you can't see on camera right now, regardless, he'll be calling for his head.
I think you've got, well, for me, I was thinking about this today. I think you've got to give him at least 10, I would say, 10 games.
Bloody hell, you've changed your tune. You give him 3 a minute.
Well, no, I think, no. I think if you give him 10 games, I think that's a fair crack at it. If you haven't got enough points by then I think you've got to look at changing around. But 10 games is a fair barometer, I think, of where we're going to be. So if I haven't got enough points, then realistic to who we've been playing, then I think then it would be time to go. But, you've got to give him a chance, I like Fark. I just don't think he's, like we know, Aaron.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard Neil Warnock. He said that he actually thinks Leeds will do all right this season. And it's pleasing to see. Neil Warnock has said this, by the way. That it's pleasing to see that Fark's been actually backed, and I think that's the difference, isn't it? This time we've actually been backed. We're backing him, and we're sticking by him.
And they will back him. They will. We've still got 3 or 4 still to come in. First team starting players. So they're the ones and the attacking players that you're going to spend probably the most money on. If you look at El Kanous, we're talking about 25, 26, 27 million pounds. And then we've still got to go and get a striker as well. So yeah, they're throwing a bit of money at it, and you know, you've got to applaud that, really, having already spent, I think, about 80 something million pounds on the 7 players that we've acquired so far. What I would just ask you, just to round it up, Aaron, I know we're coming towards the end of the show, but what I would like to ask you, out of the 7 signings that we've got already in the pre-season, who has been your favourite and one that you think will affect the team the most?
Sorry, say that again, George, because you cut up a little bit there.
Oh, sorry, mate. Out the 7 signings we've signed in this summer, who is your favourite, and who do you think will affect the team the most?
Can I have 2?
Yeah,
I think I'm quite intrigued to see about Lucas Perry. Obviously, he's the world's greatest Brazilian goalkeeper now. Is Lucas Perry? You know, he is, you know, Ballon d'Or, Golden Glove, everything you need to say about him. Looking forward to seeing him. I think he's really caught my eye. And do you know what? Having done a little bit of research and a little bit, Sean Longstaff, I've said this since this happened. You know, Sean Longstaff and Perry for me will be the signings of the window for me, because I think Longstaff has gone under the radar for Newcastle. It's a real workhorse, absolutely what you need, and a new goalkeeper, which we've been crying out for a couple of seasons. And I just can't wait to see him, literally, this Perry keeper, to literally throw the ball in the air, punch it, and it hits the halfway line or something. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. What about you?
I've got to say the same, Aaron. Actually, Perry. I think defensive. You know, Goodmanson, and you know, obviously you've got Longstaff, which is Premier League experience, and a lot of people are getting excited about Stack, aren't they, as well?
But Longstaff, George, for me, is real workhorse. You know, real workhorse here, and I think we've got a great player there, and just what we need. And Alfie, I've texted you back. I've seen your message. I do apologise. We'll get you on next week. Alfie will be back.
But no, and Mr. Whitesnake, you know, nice to catch live, even if the tail end wasn't a long wait to it, and just enjoy the last few minutes. You can catch up on the rest of it later if you like. I think I put a little update on my channel as well about El Canoes, just a few minute video on that as well. So go check that out when you can. But yes, So yeah, for me it's Perry. It's got to be Perry. I know a lot of people are also getting excited about Stack. So we'll see how he is. Like I said, Goodmanson as well. I think that, you know, Bijol as well. Be good to, you know, we've obviously strengthened the defence, but I think Perry for me, you know, upgrade completely on Melier. So, you know, just, you know, to have a solid back line, that's a foundation for us to go forward.
And it's a team of giants now these days, isn't it?
It's a big team. It's a big team. Clearly what we're going for. So it's interesting to see if they deploy that same tactic for the number 9. Isn't it, mate? You know, will they go for a big man up as a
Chris Wood?
Yeah, Chris Wood. Honestly, Chris Wood. I know a lot of people joked about it a few years ago, but Chris Wood would honestly be excellent, wouldn't he, as an option?
Yeah. Okay. A couple more comments before I wrap things up. I'm interested. Goodman gets on. Could be the dark horse signing. He also says Longstaff experience is very important. The match is the dark horse if he can stay fit. George, thank you very much this evening for joining us. Don't forget, give us a like and a subscribe. You have little things pinging away. Do that on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, thanks for listening. And we will see you next week. Don't forget as well, you've got the Premier League fantasy code. It's on the bottom of the screen. Get involved in that. Alfie, George, Jerry, and I will be there. So thank you very much, George, and we will see you next week, or maybe on Saturday for a watch along special. We might get Alfie involved in that as well.
Yeah, so perhaps you and Alfie could take that one. We could do. We could potentially do one again for the AC game, the AC Milan match.
We could do.
But yeah, and thanks for joining, everybody. I will hopefully be back on the camera. I'm sorry about my technical issues. My laptop's had a bit of a nightmare there, and for the last sort of 20 minutes, I've been off the camera. It did say actually it has gone off for some reason, but I'm glad that it's all worked out and everybody can still hear me. So
excellent. Right. Cheers, George, and we'll see you guys on the next one. See you later. Marching on together. It's all right.